Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carl. I'm a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. This is our coffee and conversation meeting for today. The article I have here is Lifestyle Changes in Recovery. And this article is by abtrs.com. So we'll hop into it. The mindset of active addiction versus the mindset in recovery. The inner landscape of the mind during active addiction can be a scary place. Over time, addiction can completely distort the way people perceive and think about the world around them. Addiction can lead to a mindset of hurt, mistrust, and sometimes full-blown paranoia. An addiction mindset can slowly change a person before their active addiction may name it over how much they have changed. People often push away the people who love them. The addiction mindset can also prevent someone from seeking out the help they need. One of the most important components of recovery is learning from challenges, negative thinking. It is about identifying truth from lies, moving forward with love. A recovery mindset is a positive optimism and hope for the future. Cultivating a positive mindset takes time, dedication, and commitment, but can transform someone's life and bolster recovery. So the article I have here is lifestyle changes in recovery and changing one's mindset. So I think our mindsets changes, over time we get older. And so a lot of us are in active addiction. Our mindset was focused on what can we get, more drugs, more alcohol, more pain, more suffering. So we have to change our mindset to the positive instead of the negative. And that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And I think what I've learned is, focus on more of the positive than the negative. There's a lot of things happening in life, a lot of good, a lot of bad, but keeping positive and staying in position when the bad things and not so comfortable things arise. So we'll go to the how a positive mindset can improve your life. You may be wondering how a positive mindset can make a difference. The answer is that a positive mindset can transform someone's life by helping them remain resilient during their recovery and staying positive during life challenges. The saying, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right, is true because thoughts are generated from people's beliefs about themselves can later influence their actions. Positive thoughts can lower levels of depression and improve self-esteem. Additionally, it has been proven that positive thinking can even have healthier benefits such as strengthened immunity, increased energy, and reducing the impact of stress and anxiety. Positive thinking can benefit someone's life, and recovery is endless. I agree with that. So recovery for me is like the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And if we stay positive in all of them components, it can help us with says additionally with stress, anxiety, probably better sleep, your immune system, just by being positive, that can help with all those things. And it talks about someone's life and recovery is endless. So when we stay positive, we can have long lasting recovery. If we stay in the negative, usually that's what we surround ourselves with is negativity, negative mindset. People don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around that today in recovery as also, So it helps improve a lot of things in life, being positive. People like to be around that. I sure do. If people stay positive and not always staying in negative and complaining and this and this and this, it can better your relationships, it can better your life. It can better a lot of things. We'll go to how can someone change their mindset? Drug and alcohol treatment is a safe place for those struggling with addiction to start shifting their thought process. Rehab centers are healthy spaces for patients to devote themselves to learning all they can and diving headfirst into the groups, therapies, and activities offered. Cognitive behavioral therapy is one of the most proven and effective therapies for getting rid of negative and self-destructive thought patterns and is offered during treatment overall. The shift in someone's mental state will begin when they start identifying negative and self-destructive thought patterns Even outside of treatment, individual therapy sessions are a perfect place to begin sorting through those distorted patterns. A therapist may be able to identify thought patterns and beliefs that people may be unaware of. Furthermore, people can begin to shift their thought patterns by practicing mindfulness, exercise, or meditation. The most important thing for people struggling with addiction to remember is to seek help for those around them and be patient with themselves. Learning new ways of thinking, coping, and handling life takes time, but the results are worth it and can help people start their new life. Right to ask about drug and alcohol treatment, we'll listen to and help you find a solution. That little part right there, define a solution. So that goes along with being positive and having a positive mindset. Always staying in the solution, not dwelling in the problem. And I've done that for so long. We stay in the problem and we don't get to what's really going on and find the solution for what's going on. We stick in this hamster wheel. You know, woe is me, poor is me. You did this, I did that. You know, this is all problem based. You know, until we started seeking inward and seeing what the problem is, and that's why we do some self assessments. You know, we do some daily reprieving of checking our motives and finding out why we act the way we do, doing some soul searching, right? And that's where for me, do like step work. We just find out what's really going on with us and why we act the way we do sometimes. You know, what does it stem from? Because there's always a root to a problem, right? We try to find what is in us, what the root is, so we can find the solution, which is very important. I think it's very important. If we just keep going around and around and around, it's going to be this vicious cycle of, using, causing more pain, causing more suffering. If we can do that without drugs and alcohol, cause more pain and more suffering and cause damage in our relationships. We don't need drugs and alcohol to, cause damage because for me, I'm keeping on me. When I came into recovery, I was damaged, because the drugs and alcohol had me, my perception, my thinking, everything about my being was, centered around drugs and alcohol. Very selfish, very self-centered. So I had to find out a new way to live. So I put the drugs and alcohol down. I'm still left with the behaviors, and I'm still left alone with me. So I have to shift all that. I have to change all that. Find new coping skills. Stay in the positive, not the negative. There's a lot that goes along with it, but it just doesn't happen overnight. That's why we stick in recovery each day, one day at a time. And the next one is love and forgiveness. Anyone who has done something that regret knows the power of an apology. Mending relationships is a crucial step towards moving forward in a recovery journey. But the most important apology is often overlooked. Self-forgiveness is the most important forgiveness to ask for and accept. Just calcium is useless to the body without vitamin D. A person can't absorb positive thinking unless the person can forgive themselves. In this way, they begin to embrace positive thinking. It's often difficult for people to forgive themselves as human beings tend to be their own worst critics. Very true. Rather than seeing someone worthy of forgiveness. Sometimes people see failure in the mirror, which is just such a distorted self-image can be impossible to see beyond negative self-esteem. However, fear not, no matter what is never too late to grow. There is a little that can't heal with patience and love. Finances, friendships, and physical bodies can all heal and grow if we choose to let them. If ones were to lower their guard, they could take the first step by asking themselves for forgiveness and accepting their apology. So self-forgiveness is one. So if I don't forgive myself, how am I going to forgive others? Or how can I change and grow if I don't forgive myself? That's one of the things I had to ask myself, um, because I hated myself for so long. Self hatred. It talks about our worst self critics. I'm my worst enemy. I can beat myself down, and I've done that in active addiction. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. I'm no good, never will be good. All these things we tell ourselves. So we're building these bricks. We're building this wall up so we can't get into recovery. That's what I was doing. I think that a lot of us do that. So we would use more drugs and alcohol to mask all this stuff, and we didn't. We're digging our hole deeper and deeper. We're digging a deep hole, and we can barely see the way out. You know, so we have to love ourselves. We have to forgive ourselves to like move forward and to grow. And I think that's a crucial part in recovery is to let go of our past and let go of what we've done. And we sort through these things like, all right, well, I know this happened in active addiction. I've done this. Like, am I still doing this in recovery? Right? A lot, like I want to say 95% of things or 90% of things I'm not doing anymore. I still have behavior, I still have thinking, I have a lot to work on still, but like a lot of these things I'm not doing today because I'm clean and sober. I'm doing living life without using drugs and alcohol. So I'm not that same person. So that's why we sort through these things too, so we can change and grow. But yeah, love and forgiveness, you have to accept what we've done so we can move forward and to better our relationships in life. All right. So it was how to forgive oneself or others. Everyone at some point has had an apology. How people behave when acting an apology can be influenced by remembering what it's like being on the other side. How can one forgive themselves or others? By remembering we're all human and every person has a different path of and story. People forgive each other because there is love. Where there is love, there is growth. Potentially, people forgive themselves because no one got to choose their childhood, upbringing, or parents. Life is a game of chance, and no one got to choose the hand they were dealt. When shame and blame no longer hold power, the mind can breathe and begin to embrace change positivity. What's in the past is over, and it can be let go because there is no changing it. What matters is where one is and where they want to go next. I like that. Um, yeah, we can't change. It talks about not changing our past, and we have to let go. We can always visit it. We can always look at it. We can always have memories and stuff like that, but we don't have to stay stuck in our past. And that's when I got in early recovery. Um, I was stuck in that shame, that guilt, that remorse, that self hatred. Um, not knowing if I'm worth. That's how I think I'm not. Am I worthy of recovery? I put myself down so much. It was hard to see the light in things. So to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and I like how I like recovery because you'll hear things right and some things, right? We think we do. And then like just simple things, the light bulb goes off. And just the simple word, to be honest with you, is love, right? Loved unconditionally. I had to practice that, right? So I can say I love people, right? I do love people, right? And I love myself. But to actually, we can like practice that because love is loving unconditionally, right? No better, no worse, and like whatever the case may be, somebody's their character defects are coming out. I don't like this person because they say this or how they're doing this, and whatever the case may be. Am I practicing love? Am I practicing empathy? Forgiveness. All that stuff. So it's funny how like a light bulb goes off sometimes. Let's see here. Why does our mentality matter? Our thoughts can either help or hinder us. Our thoughts can be both feelings of happiness or lead us into deep despair. A person's thoughts can influence their actions, and even if they do not act on some of their thoughts, it determines your perception of the world around you. Hopefully, over time, as people learn to grow and embrace change, they may realize it is the thought that counts. It's important to remember the benefits of keeping one's thoughts. By cultivating positive beliefs and attitudes about oneself, life can become revitalized and create a brighter perception of their life. With health and positivity prioritized in life, anyone can rise to the challenges in life and overcome even the toughest trials. I truly believe that. Anyone can arise to the challenges in life and overcome even the toughest trials. We don't think we can get through a lot of these things, right? Because we're so wrapped up in emotions and our feelings, And I've learned that emotions and feelings shall pass. So we're not just stuck there. They do disperse. Some take longer than others to leave us. But we can get through anything without using drugs and alcohol. The proven fact. I've seen it. I've done it. We have to see it for ourselves. That's where our experience comes in. It's like the longer we stay in recovery, because I've learned everybody gets their turn. We have mom passing, dad's passing, a lot of loved ones passing, right? Or dog dying, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of things that go on in life, right? Some bad things, but people get through it. And on my own experience, I've gotten through a lot of things, so now I can pass that on to others. That's a good thing about recovery. I can use my my past and my present. You want to say horrible, bad things that happen, that I can use it for good today. It's showing others that we can get through this clean and sober. We'll go to the last one here. How do I move forward from here? Life will always have its ups and downs, but someone's outside circumstances don't have to measure and dictate the way they feel inside. When people take control of their mindset, it can open a whole new way of living life. People can see things with fresh eyes and accomplish things they may never have thought possible. So it talks about how do we move forward from here. And but someone's outside circumstances don't have to measure and dictate the way they feel inside. And I can do that on a lot of days, like things that are going on around me, what's happening in the world, and this person's doing this, and da 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 da. It can affect my insides, how I feel, about myself, negative emotions, negative feelings. It can let the outside, affect the inside, and that's where recovery taught me is like, whatever you're going through or what you're feeling, you don't have to stay there. You can always move forward from anywhere but backwards, right? We always try to move forwards. Sometimes we stay longer than we were supposed to, right? Because we like to be miserable sometimes, but you visit, then you leave and you move forward. I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go back to using drugs and alcohol. That wasn't fun, and it caused me a lot of pain. It caused me a lot of suffering. It caused a lot of pain and suffering in my family, my friends. It definitely trickled into my daily life and outside world. Affected everybody and everyone. So I tried to do anything that's necessary for my recovery, so I don't have to go back to drugs and alcohol. So I had to change my mindset. I had to change my lifestyle, my mindset. I had to change a lot of things about myself and stay positive, not in the negative. So that was our coffee and conversation meeting for today. This article is Lifestyle Changes in Recovery, Changing One's Mindset. And this article is by abtrs.com. I want to thank you guys for letting me facilitate the meeting. Until next time, we'll see you later.